Bluffview. So we're here at Devil's Lake State Park, one of the best places in Wisconsin. I hope some of you have been here sometime in the past, and when you saw that first 10 seconds, you said, oh, I remember that. If not, maybe sometime you'll be here in the future. I've been coming here for 50 years. So when I was a little boy, I came here and camped here, and this is the part of Wisconsin that I became familiar with because of this state park. And then when we got married, we moved here to Wisconsin. So we're gonna go for a hike today, and we're gonna go way to that end of the park, way up on top. And there are some great rock formations up there called potholes. And we'll talk about what potholes are when we get there. This lake is a mile across and a half-mile wide. And it's absolutely beautiful. The water is really clear, so it's a great place to go swimming in summertime. Though there's no power boats, so it's a great place to go canoeing and sailing. The rock bluffs are great places to go hiking and rope climbing and rock climbing. There's so many things to do here. It's just amazing. Of course, you can go fishing here too, but the fishing is really difficult because the lake is really deep. Anyway, we're gonna talk again in a little while when we get up to the place where we're gonna hike through. And it's a great big basin called Steinke Basin. And then we'll get up to the top and we'll talk one more time. Okay, we're halfway up, maybe more than that. There's where we're going. And there's where we came from. And I'm gonna show you something that I found. A pretty unusual flower. That's the path we came down, so I already just came this way. Now there aren't too many, if you look in the book of flowers, there's very few green flowers. The yellow page is full, or pages. The white pages are absolutely full. Orange, some. Red, some. Here's a green one. This is a green flower. All right, so this is called a jack in the pulpit. Okay, if I can balance this and do this. This is the flower, and there's the pulpit. There's Jack. He's sitting right in there. He's that little white thing inside. Now this one's pretty small still because it's first springtime. I mean, it'll get up to, 2-3 times as tall as that, especially up here where it's really dry because we're way up high. Okay. Just behind it, there's a tiny little bit of rabbit fur. Some poor rabbit did not have a good night, I guess. Some owl nearby took care of that rabbit. Anyway, it's a green flower. Very unusual. Don't see too many of them. And there are very few green flowers in the book of all types. Jack in the Pulpit is the name of the flower. And it'll get a little bit bigger than that. All right, we're almost at the top. We're way up. And there is the Wisconsin River way in the background. And all of this is Devil's Lake State Park. That's called the South Bluff, what you're looking at. And across the way, this is part of the West Bluff, which we are standing on. Way up there. Okay, we're here. This is the top of the Potholes Trail. Goes down there to the potholes. All these rocks are all quartzite. Very, very hard rock. That's important for the story, so keep that in mind. Very, very hard. For the rock people who have studied rocks already and the rock cycle, this is metamorphic rock. So it used to be sandstone, which would have been very soft. Now it's hard. It got squeezed deep in the earth. Now when you consider, look how far up we are. How did this get squeezed in the earth and be way up here? There had been tremendous amount of lifting by the earth and tilting of pushing layers up in the earth to get it way up here. So this is all quartzite. The green splotches on this rock, all over, on all these rocks. The green splotches are lichen, which is an interesting story for another day. It's an algae and a fungus living together, and they're making soil. slowly they're decomposing that rock. But that's not for today. So we're going to head down, and we're going to go down this way to the first pothole. It's right here. Coming down. Come on, Barry. All right. There they are. There are the potholes. You can see them ahead, just between the rocks. Hey, my dog is pointing to them. And the big tree. They're just below us, about maybe 20 steps. All right? And look off in the distance. Look how high we are still. We're way up high. We're almost at the top of the bluff. Okay? So we're about 400 feet above the ground right now. Okay, hi, we're here. This is the potholes. Here they all are, right below me. There's one that I'll show you in a little bit up above me. 1, 2, 3 is right there. 4 is this big one. Look how big that is. 4. 5 is a water slide, actually a rock slide, or a pothole slide. 5. 6 and 7. 8 is that little one out on the corner. 9 is a big one with many layers in it. So 9 is like, this would be a great place to be in a hot tub. 10, 11, look at the size of this one. 12, down here is 13, and there's more huge ones down there that we can't see from this kind of angle. But I'll get a different camera angle, and I'll show you more. Now, keep in mind, we said this was quartzite. Very hard rock. Very, very hard. So the little bit of meltwater that comes through here now is not possible to be enough to make all this happen. So let's stop for a moment. Okay, so we're gonna look at how a pothole was made. Here's a rock. Imagine water coming down from up above from a pretty big river. Now, not as big as the Mississippi, but a big river. And it had to be. It couldn't just been a trickle, because this would take too long if it wasn't a decently sized river. Scientists are not in agreement about when this happened. Some scientists think that this happened in connection with the last ice age, 10 to 12, 15,000 years ago. Some of them think that it happened before that, when something else would have blocked this whole area, and perhaps the previous ice age or something else would have blocked this whole area and lifted the water up and had the water flowing in a different way. Let's look at the pothole. Here's the water coming down. It's coming down this face. It's coming down through here, and it's going to land in here, and it's scouring and shaping this smooth area right here. It comes out of that pothole and goes into this perfectly round one. Look at this nice round pothole where the rock is spinning and spinning and spinning and sanding away this round shape. It's kind of dirty, but there's leaves everywhere. Winter leaves. This is incredibly smooth. Now, there's one way in particular that we know that there were rocks in here. Besides the fact that this wouldn't happen, it wouldn't happen so nice and such hard rock without there being some gravel in there and rocks. Here's the other thing. Down in the nature center, down at the other end of the park, they found in one of these big potholes, or just below this, perhaps washed out, a bowling ball sized pebble, perfectly round. And it was one of the actions that was making all these potholes. Probably that big one. Or one of these other, this one right here, number 4, probably was in and working on number 4. Smashing around, making that pothole the round shape that it is today. These are probably going to be here for thousands of years. So when you come in a couple years to vacation here, they'll be here. No problem. All right, we're still here at the potholes. And just off to the side, I noticed the last of our really nice flowers to look at. I had seen some other ones, but not the green one was special, that Jack in the Pulpit. This one is also cool. All right, so look at the little pants. They look like pairs of pants hanging on a clothesline. Look at them all. They're all pairs of white pants hanging on a clothesline, and the clothesline is pink. All right, so the common name for these, oh, there's a couple down there too. Look at them, they're all hanging on that clothesline and falling out over the leaves. The common name for these is pants on a clothesline. The real name for them is Dutchman's breeches. Breeches, now they spell it breeches, even though we've changed the word in modern use to britch, which is like britches, what kids would say, like in the Western times. They would say, oh, you got dirt all over your britches. So this is Dutchman's Britches. It's a real nice flower. And I think what I would like you to do is send a picture of a flower. Now, it's really early. There's not too much growing yet. This is really early spring. Oh, look at those over there. Those are really nice, too. There's quite a few of them growing here. This is one of the first flowers that will grow. And I would like to see you guys look for a picture of a flower. Send a picture of a flower to your teacher. And it would be a nice combination of Mother's Day present and thank you for teacher education time, okay? For thanking them for all this that they've had to help you with during this time of COVID and so on and so forth. That all the stuff that they've been doing for you all year long, not just this time. So this is Dutchman's Britches, and I think you should take a picture. When you send the picture to your teacher, if you don't know the name, it'll be like a group project for everybody to find the name of it. Be a great project.